is going on, Hot Take Nation? DRW here for Easter Sunday. Happy Easter to you and your family. Hopefully, you've got some Zoom calls organized with your extended family. Unlike, but you're probably like me and our family, where we have been locked in a house together for 3 weeks. So there's been a lot of together time. We've done some very productive things. We've taught the kids how to gamble. So there's a lot of fighting because the kids are playing pool for money. They're playing poker for money. They're playing basketball and pickleball for money. They're playing golf now for money. So I really feel like, in the new economy where we're trying to build skills, gambling and hustling, I think, are two essential skills, as well as competitiveness and anger. And I've seen all of those traits emerge from my kids. And it has, in fact, led Tara and I to drink more than usual, which is a lot. So I'm not really sure I'm going to be ready for the post-quarantine beach body competition. However, if I was stranded without food for 45 days, I think I would probably be okay. So happy Easter to everyone. Hope that you are experiencing a little bit more levity than there's been in the last couple of weeks. I think there's some signs of optimism as the economy is considered to be reopened. Governor Abbott, he's coming in for me in Texas, making Texas look like a place I'm going to want to go visit here very soon, assuming that they open up some restaurants and some hotels and we can get back to life. Would be awesome. So maybe the next week we're going to see a little bit of optimism, a little resurrection, so to say, of the economy. Speaking of resurrections, today is the 1-year anniversary of Tiger Woods' resurgence and transcending victory at the Masters. And I think no matter where you were last year on Sunday of the Masters, you knew the significance of that event. And I think from a personal standpoint, I've been a Tiger Woods fan forever. I think you can talk about when he first came on the scene and won golf tournaments by 12 shots, had done something that no one had ever done, was destroying records. Every time he signed up, it seemed like he was going to win the tournament. Not only that, but he was a minority. He changed the way we viewed athletes. He changed the way that golf was played. I mean, like Wayne Gretzky, like Michael Jordan. I mean, these are guys who changed the sport. And when you look at the athletes now that golf versus who did it 20 years ago, I mean, you put it on Tiger. And then when you think about the Thanksgiving disaster, I think is all we can really say, and how low he fell from how the world saw him. And it kind of always reminded me of Batman. I'm a big fan of the Batman trilogy, the Christian Bale one. And there's a scene, I think, in The Dark Knight where he says either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. And it is kind of interesting in our celebrities that we love them until we hate them, and then they become a great story. And so when Tiger came back last year and won, it was just, that's what sports are, and that's what I miss so much about our sports. And God, I want them to come back. And I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if it's playing to empty stadiums. I don't think it's the same thing. I don't know if it's social distancing and, I don't know, only have a third of the stadium full, which kind of feels like the wrong energy. Or you sort of say, hey, we're just going to go to it, because I miss the hope and the plans, and I miss getting ready for the playoffs that would be coming up right now for the NHL and NBA, and would be right in the baseball season, and Masters would be on. I mean, that's what life is, and I miss it. But I'm optimistic that all of that is going to come back really, really soon. And I think that, with Texas starting to lead the way, all these governors were chasing each other down to see who could one-up each other on we're going to shut down restaurants, we're going to shut down this, we're going to shut down that. Well, on the way back, I think we're going to see the same thing. So DRW going to take the optimistic resurrection route on Easter Sunday. And while we're on the resurrection, let's talk about the resurrection of the OPEC deal that had been on again, off again, on again, off again, coming into Thursday. Turned out that Mexico was the holdup. They were asked to cut 400,000 barrels a day. They only cut 100,000 barrels a day. Donald Trump stepped up and said, "Don't worry, the U.S. can cover." Everyone in the U.S. is like, "What? I don't think that makes any sense." Well, the EIA reported that last week, the weekly estimate, even though they've always run the wrong weekly estimate and always overestimate where we actually are, production went from 13 million barrels a day down to 12.4 million barrels a day, which is a 600,000 barrel drop, which reflects the fact that rigs have fallen 60 rigs 2 weeks in a row. We're now down below 600 rigs. I believe, as I've said multiple times on the show, we're going down below 200 drilling rigs, which is crazy to think about, but I think that's where we're going. Fracs, we were running around 350 frac fleets. This week we were below 200 for the first time I've ever seen, and I think we're going sub 50. And I mean, a huge amount of pain coming for the energy sector because there's just no work to be done. But that rebalancing, the U.S. is already down 600,000 barrels. We will decline 3 to 4 million barrels a day as a nation within the next 365 days. And that plus Saudi, plus Russia, plus the lack of storage is going to help accelerate the rebalancing. Now, I will say I am very bearish on oil price for the next foreseeable future. If we get back into the 40s in the next 18 to 24 months, I personally would be surprised just because there's so much oil going into storage. And we know the startup isn't going to be like a light switch, which is why I don't feel it's a V-shaped recovery coming. I feel like it's an L. And I don't think that, you know, as humans, we are so optimistic. We want to find hope. We don't like movies where the main character dies at the end and then they just say, okay, and that's the movie. Like, we need to have closure and feel everything come together. And I don't think that that's coming for the economy, and I don't think it's coming for oil. But if you want to pick the optimistic side, what I would say is as oil declines, we're going to decline 4 million barrels a day. GOR is roughly 4,000 to 5,000 on average for an oil well, which means we're going to decline roughly 16 to 20 BCF a day of gas, which means that it actually is going to be not bad for gas players coming here in the near future. So if you want to take the optimistic side, 24 months out, I think natural gas is going to be the way to play it. And for service companies, if you want to reposition your business to be focused on the Appalachia rather than the Permian, I think that's going to be a real thing. So we're gonna. It's optimistic. Optimistic Easter, and everything is going to be a positive spin today on the show. There's going to be no negativity, and so I should probably just end the show right now before I say something that I'm really going to regret. But that's really it. There's not a lot else we can talk about. I wish there was. I wish there was sports. I wish there was dinners out. I wish there was more time with friends. I wish that there were hopeful opportunities to be talking about how we were going to pivot the business, any business, into the new era of post-COVID. It's going to be lots of interesting discussions as we look back on this time. And did we overreact? Did we underreact? What did we do? What did we learn? What would we do different? How is business going to change? Is it really going to be work from home, or is it not going to be work from home? But the next month will be very telling. And it's good that OPEC is behind us. I expect oil to trade down, into the teens, low teens, until we continue to have another. We talk about there's 32 million barrels a day oversupplied of oil. We've now cut 10. There just isn't any place to store it. So until we shut in another 22 million barrels artificially, as in just people, regardless of the agreement, just shut them in, we're going to end up seeing what I think is teens oil price. But then we'll start, because the economy will resurge, and then we'll start seeing demand, and then we'll figure out where this balance is. So happy Easter to you and your family, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. And until next time, be safe, be good, have a great day. Bye for now.